Hey everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got a battle report here for you. This 2,000 point battle. Tis I, Lord Tremendous of the Thousand Suns, versus the Immortan So, formerly known as the Owner. I like the Immortan So better. Long story. If you have any Mad Max Fury Road sound bites on Wave or MP3, MP4, please send them to me. My email is in the description. I would like to be able to use them, and I couldn't find any myself, which hurt my feelings. It really did. But anyway, it's the Immortan So, the Space Marines. He's playing the Raptor Legion, and this is just another grudge match against my hetero life mate, and it is pretty friggin' good. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see how it goes. Here's my list, and there have been some changes because I'm trying different things out because I'm still curious. This is my Thousand Sons of Tremendous Army list. I still am led by my warlord, Ahriman the Black. He's still on a disc. He's got the Black Staff of Ahriman, the Infernal Bolt Pistol, and a frag or crack grenade that I never remember to use. Next up, I like the Chaos Lords. I wanted to try one in Power Armor as well, so I threw another Chaos Lord into the list. Obviously, Legion Zinch, or whatever the word is. He's in Power Armor, he's got a Plasma Pistol, a Power Maul, and the Frag and Crack Grenade. And the idea with him is he's going to stay back with my infantry, letting him reroll ones to hit, and see if that helps me out at all. Plus, I just like the idea of having a Chaos Lord running around with a Plasma Pistol. I have a second Chaos Lord in this list in Terminator armor. Basically, if you saw the last battle report, you know why. This is Black Shade, just because I like to name my characters. He's got a Combo Melta and a Power Fist, but like I said, his job is to deep strike and cause havoc behind my enemy's lines. I just like the guy. The staple of my army are 10 Rubric Marines with 6 Infernal Bolters, 2 Warp Flamers, a Soul Reaper Cannon, the Sorcerer's got his Force Staff, and an Infernal Bolt Pistol. I do have a second unit of these guys, just not in this particular list. They're currently being painted by none other than Big Tom, so very soon you'll see a lot more of these psychotic bastards on the table. I split up my Zangors in this game so that I could have, I think, 7 command points. I have a unit of 11 Zangors, Auto Pistols, Chain Swords, Instrument of Chaos, and then a unit of 12 Zangors, Auto Pistols, Chain Swords, and Instrument of Chaos. Again, I could have combined them up to a unit of 23, I know, but I wanted 3 more, command points, so having 7 is quite nice. Here I've got my 6 Scarab Occult Terminators with 4 Infernal Combo Bolters, 5 Power Swords, a Soul Reaper Cannon, a Hellfire Missile Rack, and the Sorcerer has a Force Staff and a Infernal Combo Bolter. So we're playing at 2,000 points, so I brought the twins, my Hellbrutes with Multi-Meltas, Hellbrute Fist, and Combo Bolters, and they have the exact same kit, because of their exact same model, just, you know, in clone form. And then I threw a couple of Spawn into the list. I had like 60-something points left over, and I was like, you know what, let's try them out. I was looking through the book, I thought it might be kind of neat, so I threw 2 Spawn into the list. On paper, honestly, they look terrible. I just thought they were terrible, but I wanted to try something different, threw them in the list, you'll see how they do. And you know I can't field an army without this guy, my Renegade Knight, Lord Tremendous. He's got Titanic Feet, he's got a Thermal Cannon, he's got the Rapid Fire Battle Cannon, and 2 Heavy Stubbers. And my heart. God, I like fielding this guy. That's going to do it for my list. I believe I did not get my opponent's list. With a little luck, he will post it, but if not, well, you could probably figure out what he took by watching the battle report. Here's deployment. We did roll for a mission, and it's, I believe there's just a relic. There's 3, maybe? There's one in the middle. There's one on my area there, in the middle ruin building, right where the Zangors are. And then I believe my opponent has one near where his tank is at. Or, I'm sorry, in the ruins right in front of the tank, I believe, is where his relic is at, or whatever, the objective marker. I don't fully remember what this particular mission was, because to be perfectly honest with you, I planned on mostly ignoring it. I just wanted to shoot and kill Space Marines because I kind of get a kick out of it. So, yeah. It was the weird triangle deployment on both sides, not just 12 inches in, so it was like 9 inches away from the dead center, and then in the weird triangle format, so that's why my stuff kind of slopes. But yeah, I kind of screwed up with my deployment. On the right there, I've got a unit of Zangors. I believe that's the 12. Then there's a Hellbrute, and then I got Lord Tremendous behind the house. Now, where I screwed up is because by the time I deployed Lord Tremendous, he had most of his stuff out, and he was kind of doing the denied flank thing. I should have put him way over on the left side. He has the range and everything to hit pretty much whatever he needs to. There was no reason for me to put him there. I put him behind the house because I thought I could block line of sight. I was way off. So, really stupid on my part. Anyway, that's what I did, though, and I blame myself for that. I got the 2 spawn in the alleyway right there. They were going to shoot forward, try to get into the Chads or the Biffs, just to see what they could do. I don't know what any spawn are any good or not, so I wanted to try them out. I got my other unit of 11 Zangors inside the ruins to hold the objective. Then I got my Rubik Marines with my powered armored Chaos Lord behind them, and then I've got the Hellbrute right next to them. The Chaos Terminators and the Lord are going to, in Terminator armor, going to deep strike, and that's it for my deployment. Here's top 1 after movement, and after many rolls where we rolled pretty much exactly the same thing, he finally beat me and went first. His golden boys, the Biffs, they come forward and hide behind the terrain there a little bit, which is smart. I got to advance now in order to shoot at them, and that's going to be a problem because then they get to advance and assault me. I know what he's doing. It's very smart. I'm just hoping that my overwhelming firepower is enough to take him out. Meanwhile, the rest of his dreadnoughts, he's got like 3 of them on the table. They come forward. The big claw grabby one comes forward. The green one comes forward. The tank stays put. The tech marine stays put. And I'm in a lot of trouble. It's a lot of firepower coming at me. His Chads, the new space marines with the super blasters or whatever they are, they dive into the ruins to hold the objective and lay down some serious pain. And really, it's a quick but effective movement phase. He doesn't have a psychic phase, really, so we go into shooting, and I believe the claw thing opens up and fires at my Zangors, killing 4 right off the bat, which is terrifying. Then his last cannon dreadnought opens up on Lord Tremendous, and I'm lucky he's only able to do 5 wounds with that volley, but it's still 5 wounds. That hurt. His tank lines up a shot on Lord Tremendous and is able to put 6 more wounds on him, so that's 11 already. It's at this point that I realize how stupid I was in the deployment phase and where my placement of Lord Tremendous. I'm kind of kicking myself in my own ass at this point. And then his golden boys, the Chads or whatever they are, they can open up on the Rubik Marines, and they kill 2. I was a little disappointed. My dice kind of let me down, or those guys are some really good shots. Either way, 2 Rubriks die, and I'm not happy about it. And then his big green guy, he fires at my Zangors and kills 2 or 3 of them. And not a huge big deal. They're doing all right, and hopefully they'll be able to hold the objective till the end of the game. He has no assaults, so we go over here to bottom of 1 after movement, and I come forward. I mean, I'm not dead yet, I'm just hurting real bad. The Zangors on the right flank shoot forward, they advance, and I think they get to move a full, 12 inches, which is really nice. My Chaos Lord and Terminator armor comes down 9 inches away from the Claw guy into those little ruins there. His job is going to get into the big Claw Dreadnought and hopefully really mess up his day. I'm hoping I remember to reroll once. That's really the plan there. Lord Tremendous comes out from behind a building, because it didn't do them any good anyway. The 2 spawn come shooting forward because I want to see what they can do. The Rubik Marines come moving forward, but just enough that they can see some stuff. And then my Hellbrute moves over so he can shoot at the Biffs. My Terminator's coming to back to kill off his Tech Priest and hopefully take out his tank. And that's it for movement. In the psychic phase, I'm able to get smite off with my Terminator Sorcerer into his Tech Priest because he's the closest guy. And he takes a wound. He's got a few left, which is cool. Ahriman is able to see one of the Chads, and he gets his smite off, and I think he pops one, maybe? Or no, he does a wound to one. It's not much. And then I use Warp Time to bring the Rubik Marines up a little bit further so they can easily open fire on them and hopefully drop a lot of these guys. I do believe I tried to use Infernal Gaze on his Dreadnought, but I didn't roll any 4s, so that was a little bit of a disappointment. And then I believe we go into the shooting phase, and my Hellbrute fires at the big crab thing and is able to put, I think, 4 or 5 wounds through on him. Can't really tell, the dice is a little small, but it was a pot shot. I mean, honestly, it was just a pot shot. I didn't think I really had anything there at all. And, yeah, I think he does 5 wounds to the crab thing with his shot, and that's why I love the Hellbrutes, you know? They always kind of produce in some way, shape, or form, you know? I open up with Lord Tremendous, and he fires at the crab guy, and I believe at the green guy, and I roll like butt. I'm in a lower category now. I think I need 4s to hit, but I do 2 wounds to the crab thing and nothing anywhere else. It was just such a wasted volley. Rolled like ass. What can you do? So I fire with the rubrics, and the guys in the back have to shoot at something else because it's my Soul Reaper cannon and a flamethrower. They can't see the golden boys. So the Soul Reaper cannon fires off at the Chads in the ruins there and kills a guy all by himself. It was amazing. The Warp Flamer guy is kind of wasted, but all the other rubrics fire into the golden boys. The rest of them open up into the golden boys, kill one, and put a wound on another. So, not the best shooting in the world, but considering they've got a 3-up save against everything, I'm okay with how well they've done. And then my Terminators, most of them open up on a Tech Marine. One of them, most of them open up in a Tech Marine. I believe all the Combo Bolters open up in a Tech Marine. The, Soul Reaper Cannon fires at the Chads in the ruins, and I completely miss 4 1s and 2s. It was devastating. But the Hellfire Missile Rack shoots at the tank, and I believe does 2 or 3 wounds to it. But the Tech Priest dies a horrible death, and that makes me feel happy. We go into the assault phase, and Blackshade charges the little crabby dude. He opens fire with everything he's got, and misses spectacularly because Blackshade's no joke. He makes it into combat. I don't even have to burn a command point, and this will be an excellent test for him. My Terminators end up charging the Space Marines in the ruins there. I fail my charge, but They do lose another one for their trouble because of plasma or whatever it is. They overload and kill one of them. But I lose 2 Terminators in the process. It was quite painful. I did not think I was going to lose that many guys to a charge. I should have charged a tank. It would have been safer. And then we go into combat here, and Blackshade does great. He takes this thing down to 1 wound left, which was spectacular. I was very pleased. In return, nothing happened to me. I made all my saves. It was great. So the Terminator Lord, deep striking and getting in there is awesome because if this goes well, he's going to be able to pop 1 Dreadnought after another and clear this backfield for me while the rest of my army moves up and deals with the infantry. I'm excited that this is working. That's it for my turn, so here's top of 2 after movement, and my opponent's aggressive. His Golden Boys, the Chads or whatever, the Biffs, they come running over the terrain, because, he's going to assault the Rubik Marines. He knew it was coming. His green Dreadnought thing starts going towards my spawn, which is also fine. I want to see what will happen. The rest of his stuff more or less stays put. His Chads in the ruins, they're fine. They're going to stay right where they're at. The tank and the other Dreadnought are good, and the stupid character that lets him re-roll everything because he's a chapter master is going to stay right where he's at too, because if you can't do, you teach, and that motherfucker's just going to sit back there and give orders. But yeah, that's it for his movement. Go straight into a shooting phase, and the little Space Marines in the middle there open up on my poor Terminators and blast all 4 of them back to where they came from. Those guns are terrifying. His last cannon Dreadnought opens up on Lord Tremendous and puts another 3 or 4 wounds on him. Not as bad as it could have been, but it's not looking like my robot's going to be on the table for much longer. This green terrorist shoots at my spawn and puts 3 wounds on one, which honestly, considering the size of the gun on its right arm, isn't that terrifying. I'm not sure if the spawn are that good or if he's just rolling that bad with this thing. Then his big tank roars and opens up on my Zangors, killing 3 more of them. And I don't have a picture of it because it was too sad, but he also blows up my my Renegade Knight, Lord Tremendous. And it was some really good shots. I think he did 11 wounds with the tank to it this turn. It was impressive, to say the least. And, a little soul-crushing. We go into the assault phase, and his big green Dreadnought thing attacks my spawn and makes it in there no problem. I don't remember if the spawn have 4 wounds or 5, but he does enough to kill a spawn outright. In return, I think I only do like 1 or 2 wounds to this thing. It's got 12 left after the combat is done, and I've got a spawn that's on his way out. So, I don't know if the spawn are good or not, but against Dreadnoughts, they are not. At all. Over here, he activates before I do. I should have burned a couple of command points, but I thought there's no way he's going to kill my character before I get to swing and finish him off. I'm going to save the command points. Never save your command points. That's stupid people thinking. He hits one, or he hits and he wounds, and one gets through. He does D6 wounds each, and he rolls a 6, which is exactly what he needed to do to kill my Terminator Lord. Oh, did that hurt! And then the Golden Boys charge into Rubik Marines, and 3 of them die. Not great. Not great at all. In return, I don't believe I'm able to do anything to him. I'm in a really bad spot. Hopefully I can get my Chaos Lord and my Hellbrute into him next turn, but oh man, is that bad. Nothing happens in the morale phase, so here's bottom of 2 after movement, and I'm on the back foot something fierce. So my Hellbrute and my Chaos Lord and Power Armor move up to try to support the Rubik Marines, because I need to get into this fight. Ahriman moves around the terrain there, because he can still see a lot of things, but I don't really want him shot and killed off the table just yet. My other Hellbrute moves up, because I'm going to try to get him over into the Dreadnought and help out the spawn, and my unit of Zangors on the right move up to try to put the last wound on the Crab Dreadnought and finish him off, and then probably if they can do that, I'll send them after the Chads and the Ruins and try to take their objective. Kind of grabbing at straws here. I'm really on the back foot, but that's it for my movement. In the Psychic phase, I'm able to get Prescience off on the Hellbrute, which is nice, and then I'm able to get, I think I do 1 wound, maybe with Smite onto the Golden Boys. No, I do 3. I'm sorry, I do 3, and I kill a guy outright, which is awesome. 1 less Chad to worry about. In the shooting phase, my Hellbrute really doesn't have anything else to shoot at. I can't shoot at that little character guy because there's closer enemy units, so he shoots at the Chads inside the Ruins with his multi-melta, hits, wounds, and murders a guy flat out. It was very impressive. Hellbrutes are on point with their shooting today. Speaking of Hellbrutes being on point, this one fires at the Crab guy and blows him up, does the final wound. He doesn't explode, I'm sorry, that was misleading, but he does die, and I'm perfectly fine with that, because he was supposed to be dead anyway. We're just putting him to rest like he so rightly deserves. And fuck that guy, I'm glad he's dead. We go into the assault phase, and everybody goes in. My Hellbrute, Ahriman, the Chaos Lord and Power Armor. That's how much I like my Rubik Marines. I send in everybody. I want them to live, damn it. So, yeah, hopefully this is enough to kill these Chads and move on to the rest of his army, because it's still anyone's game. He's definitely got the advantage, but I feel like I'm not out of it yet. We go into the combat, and although my Power Armor Lord does take a couple of damage from counterattacks afterwards, because I wasn't able to flat out kill him right away, the Hellbrute, Ahriman, and the Rubik Marines are able to finish him off, which is excellent, and we all advance towards his character, which I believe the Hellbrute might engage. I'm not 100% on that. So that was great. That worked out. So over here, cool story. See how close the Hellbrute is to the Dreadnought? I failed my assault check there. And yes, before you ask, I did use a command point and proceeded to roll the exact same failure, re-rolling the 1 on a die. I rolled another 1. So the Hellbrute failed to get into the other Dreadnought. Therefore, the Dreadnought, my spawn did activate and swing at him and just kind of made his armor look cooler. And then he ripped his still beating heart out of his multiple chests and killed him dead. So, again, I don't really know whether or not spawn are good. I know they're not good against Dreadnoughts, especially that particular one. Of course, for his reconciliation, he moves closer to the Hellbrute, and you know what? Hellbrute's got it coming. He needs to work on his wind sprints, because that was pathetic. That brings us over to top of 3 after movement, and there's really none. He doesn't need to move. Everything is pretty much perfectly in place for him, so he stays put. We go into the shooting phase, and his little anti-psyker guy shoots at my Hellbrute and does just a single wound to him, which sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. Then I believe maybe it's his tank. It could be his laser cannon. I think it's his laser cannon Dreadnought. Opens up on my Hellbrute as well. Only 1 hits, and he only does 2 wounds, so there's a total of 3 on him now, which is recoverable. He's not dead yet. Here's where my luck runs dry, though. The green Dreadnought, knowing that the Hellbrute was going to charge him and then coward it out, doesn't like cowardice, and shuffles loose the mortal coil that he was attached to, blowing him away with his guns at point-blank range. Son of a bitch. Then I believe the guys inside the ruins there shoot at my Hellbrute, hitting, wounding, and doing max damage, killing him dead. That sucked. Both Hellbrutes in a single turn of shooting. What can you do other than cry, right? Oh, to make things absolutely unbearable, the Hellbrute explodes. The explosion takes out the rest of my Rubik Marines with the exception of the Sorcerer, puts 3 wounds on Ahriman, so he's got a total of 3 on him, so maybe just 2, I don't remember. 2 more wounds on the Chaos Lord, so he's got 1 left, and I only do a single wound to the enemy. Talk about these tactical explosions. Devastating. We go into the assault phase, and the green guy does try to go after the Zangors because he wants to secure the right flank, and who wouldn't? But he doesn't make it. He slips in all the fail that was the puddle of goo that is my Hellbrute. And my Zangors overwatch and are able to actually slip a wound through using their pistols, of all things. I was very proud of them. Zangors are always usually pretty good. Over here, his little anti-psyker character charges my Chaos Lord and makes it. I do overwatch, but he's got one of those I'm important models that Games Workshop wants to sell, so I have an incredible save, and yeah, makes it no problem. And then slams dunks his head into the ruins that he's standing on, killing my Chaos Lord no problem, and then his reconciliation puts him into Ahriman. Ahriman swings, does nothing, because the Dice Gods have shit on me. Is what it is. Sometimes you gotta take that hard L, you know? That brings us over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and I don't really have any. The Zangors move to try to clear the guys out of the ruins, and my remaining sorcerer moves up to try to smite them. I want them off the objective so I can maybe secure it with the Zangors. I've still got my Zangors in the back securing objective, and if I can survive another few turns, I could still win with a BS objective victory. But I'm grabbing at straws here because I'm drowning in my own blood. That is it for movement. In the psychic phase, I am able to slip a wound through with smite onto the Chads in the ruins there, and, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And then Ahriman tries to get Prescience off on himself and fails because everything's at like +2 or 3 to cast because, of course, the model that GW needs to sell can affect everything. But I do get, what's it called, Infernal Gaze off on the Green Dreadnought, and I do 1 mortal wound to him, which isn't going to be enough to do anything, but it makes me feel a little better. My shooting phase is absolutely ridiculous. Nothing happens. We go into the assault phase, and my Zangors assault his little Space Marine Chad guys in the ruins. They overwatch, they kill a guy, and kill themselves with, what's it called? Oh god, I don't know. He overcharges plasma pistols. Overheat, that's what happens. So yeah, 1 guy dies. I think he's killed more of these guys than I have, and they kill a Zangor. I do not make my charge, and that's pretty much par for the course this game. Speaking of par for the course, my opponent's able to do a wound to me. I am able to do nothing back to him. And I'm not dead, but I might as well be. Nothing in the morale phase. That brings us over here to top of 4 after movement. And here they come. The big green Dreadnought has decided that he likes the Terminators over in the middle because I think he sees what I'm trying to do. And that's it. I mean, there's no other movement because he doesn't need to. Oh, no, that's not entirely true. His las cannon weapons platform Dreadnought moves up, and his character kind of moves over a little bit so that they can hold that objective because I think he sees what my Zangor are trying to do. That's it for his movement. We go into the shooting phase, and the green Dreadnought, true to form, kills 3 of the Zangor just outright, and that sucks. Not a surprise, though. The remaining Chad pops my Rubik Sorcerer, no problem, which, again, par for the course. And then some other stuff over here. I don't remember if it's the last cannon guy, the character, the tank, or a combination. But 4 out of the 7 remaining Zangor get blown away by shooting. Which, yeah, I'm not meant to win this one at all. We go into the assault phase. There isn't really any assaults, but we go into combat, and nothing happens here. He doesn't do any wounds to me. I don't do any wounds to him. I think they just might be talking about how badass this cheap-ass little character is. Makes sense, I guess. We go into the morale phase, and unsurprisingly, my 3 remaining Zangor run off the table. What can you do? I mean, I knew it was coming. I did. And because I forgot, as you can see here plainly, the Dreadnought did actually kill off all the Zangors, not just 3 of them, with shooting, so that yeah, I've got Ahriman left on the table. So here's bottom of 4, and I decide to disengage. I hate the rule. I think it's absolutely garbage the way it's implemented, but I would like, if nothing else, to finish off the Chads before I get tabled. So I move Ahriman up. I disengage, and there's nothing he can do about it because that rule is stupid as fuck. And then I move forward. So yeah, I'm closer to the Chad than I am to the character that can't be hurt by psychic powers because that is also stupid as fuck. But it's Games Workshop. What more can I expect? Yes, I know I'm whining, but you know what? I'm also telling the truth, so it's hard not to keep saying it. Anyway, that's it for movement. Once again, Dice Gods need to be recognized. I go into second phase, try to cast Smite, roll Snake Eyes. I'm not making this up. Ahriman's got 1 wound left. He's completely on his own. No one near him. He's the only model I have left on the table, and I roll Snake Eyes for Smite, and I have no command points yet. Oh. So Ahriman mispronounces a word to dispel and explodes all over the place, effectively tabling me. And there's his little goofy character, because we're laughing the whole time. We're making fun of it. We know, everybody that plays this game knows that Games Workshop writes some great rules and some truly horrendous rules. And that character right there is a horrendously written character. Fuck you, Games Workshop. You know it's true. So, yeah, we're laughing about it. We're still enjoying the game. We're still enjoying ourselves. We're screaming back and forth, having a good time. As you can see in the pictures, well, the bigger ones, the ones in a second, we're a lot of people around. We're having a good time. But yeah, that right there, we were roaring. Ahriman was so done with this fight, he kills himself. But yeah, there it is. There's the end of the game. I did not do well. I didn't do terrible, but I did not do well. My opponent still has 2 dreadnoughts on the table, a big-ass tank, his warlord, and his broken-ass little character of anti-psyker. And anti-combat, anti-getting shot at, anti-taking wounds, all for less than 100 points, because Games Workshop is still pretty average at writing rules. Anyway, again, I know I'm bitching. I know, and if this offends you, I apologize. Grow up. Just some faceless guy's opinion on the internet. It doesn't mean shit. But it does bother me with some of their rules. But overall, I do enjoy 40K. I do. They made a good game, and I'm going to continue to play it. It's still a lot of fun. And I love playing against this guy. This was still a lot of fun. I got my ass handed to me, but this was still a lot of fun. And the ending was one for the record books. Oh, so yes, I'm having fun, and we're going to have more fun in the recap because, thank God, this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Alright guys, like you saw in this entire battle report, I have amazing looking models. I do, I'm not trying to brag, it's just the truth. My models look amazing, even though I play them like crap. And if you know anything about me, you know that I don't have an artistic cell in my entire body. I don't. It's not a skill that I possess, like rolling dice. So I found a guy, Big Tom, from Big Tom Painting, and he takes care of all my models for me. He does it at great prices, he does amazing work, he does expedited work, and I love it. Probably one of the best armies I've ever played, just because of the paint job alone. So if you're tired of being embarrassed about your army, you're tired of not having a fully painted army, or having an army that's painted to a very amateur level, send Big Tom an email, get your army painted right, and you can thank me in the comments section later. It's awesome. So if I didn't make it clear enough, this was a huge defeat for Lord Tremendous. My opponent was able to table me by turn 4. It's like I didn't show up for the battle. I lost everything, except for my opponent's respect. I don't think I ever had that. I'm messing, we had a ton of fun. This was a incredibly fun game. I got my ass whooped, but I still had a really good time doing it. We were talking trash the whole time. It was in good humor, it was a lot of fun, but oh my god do I enjoy playing against this guy. That's like what half the game was just us talking trash the whole time. It's if you haven't role-played your army against your opponent in true fashion, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. But speaking of my army, I do believe 2 Chaos Lords is too much. I like the Chaos Lord and Terminator armor. The one in Power Armor that let me reroll ones in the backfield was really just a waste of points. I don't need him, so I don't think you're going to see him in future lists. Being said, I do need a 3rd HQ choice in order to get the 7 command points, which I like, so I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board and really look over the list and reevaluate my HQ choices. Really did enjoy facing off against the Immortan So's army. I love seeing all the dreadnoughts and armor on the table. That was cool. And I mean, let's face it, even the Space Marines that were on the table were basically 3-up armor having, or invulnerable save having, you know, mini tanks. So that was kind of rough. But the evolution of his army taking a very mechanical feel, I like that a lot. I think I need a 2nd unit of Rubik Marines immediately. And currently Big Tom is painting my 2nd unit, so hopefully in my next battle report you'll see it. But yeah, there's going to be some changes to the army. I did like the idea of the spawn. I underutilized them in this game because I didn't know what I had, but I like the idea of what they can do. I like that it's random, so it's hard to kind of predict what they're going to do. I might throw one in the list from now on just to have some fun. We'll see. We'll see. But like I said, this was still a really, really fun game. I know I bitched, and I'm going to. That's just kind of who I am. But we had a blast during this game. I did enjoy myself. I think my opponent enjoyed because he got to table me. And I'm looking forward to playing against him again because, man, he is a great opponent. It's my head or life mate. What do you expect? Can't wait for the rematch. And honestly, I really can't wait to doctor up my list a little bit, try some new stuff out against him because I want him to witness my evolution, you know? Just very shiny, very chrome. But that's going to do it. Battle Report number 11 is officially in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.